Saudi Arabia wanted $25 billion, being many times richer than Nigeria. What they did was to say, okay, tell me the valuation on Saudi Aramco, their own oil company, which is equivalent to NNPC. In 2018, they got the valuation at 1.5 trillion. Then he said, oh, I didn't know I have this kind of money. Oh yeah, 5% to the capital market. And then 2 years after, they revalued again. The value has gone from 1.5 trillion to 2.3 trillion. Now, what it tells you is that when you bring in private sector to invest in your assets, just like you have LNG, where government is partnering with 3 big oil majors, we're getting money from there because they know the business. There's no wool being pulled over anybody's face, and we're getting dividend. If you do the same thing in NNPC, the big boys will come in, the small boys will come in, the Niger Delta remittance will buy share. All of us will buy share in it, and then it will come to serious public scrutiny, and corporate governance will sit well. They will begin to take important decisions. The decision number one may say, look, get out of refinery, sell the refinery business, and businesses will take it over and they'll start operating like Dangote. They may say, okay, why are you holding 150 marginal oil fields? Sell them, get people in there. Modular refineries will get the impetus to do. They may also say, oh, let's have some reserves. Let's build 3 different reserves in different locations so that the modular refiners can access crude, and then we can have a lot of crude. When our quota is down, we can supplement. These are strategic decisions. Just like Saudi Arabia and America have huge reserves. So there are decisions that can be taken. And then, the other decision is that, look, you've got an investor in your country that invested $20 billion. Dangote. Now, let us have a massive policy of wrapping around his investment 100 trillion MSME clusters around that Lekki that will deal with all his downstream, midstream investment, producing plastics, rubber tires, anything and everything. We're heading out to $100 billion investment ecosystem around that 20 billion. This is where you begin to talk about how you can generate the kind of revenue you're mentioning. You can't get this revenue by giving palliatives. I've seen a lot of palliatives there. That's not where you're going to get money. What you're going to do is I accept that free education and free health services is investment in human capital. It's either you are investing in a material resource or capital infrastructure and the productive capacity, or you're investing in capital. Human capital investment is allowed by the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007, which means education, health, and employment. It doesn't tell you to go and give money and share money to people. So that's not where you invest. If you want to invest in populist investment, then go to the 42 million MSMEs in Nigeria and say, what incentive can I give you to employ one more person? If the 42 million employ one person, you've created employment for 42 million Nigerians extra. That's where you take policy to. Then you see a sudden escalation in the number of people employed. It's not palliative. It doesn't create any job. It ties the capital that you should have directed into energizing the MSME community.